the legal representative for Karima Brown, asked the South Gauteng High Court on Monday the 6th of May 2019 to make its judgment on her dispute with the economic freedom fighters leader, Julius Malema, before Wednesday's general election. Senior advocate Jeff Budlender, acting for Brown, said the matter was urgent and should be adjudicated before the elections. The election is in 2 days, and if Mr. Malema has broken the Electoral Commission rules, the public deserves to know this before they vote, he said. Brown, who hosts a political talk show on ENCA, took Malema to court after receiving death and rape threats, allegedly from EFF supporters, following the publication of her number on Twitter by Malema. Brown wants the court to declare that Malema breached the electoral code. She also wants him to be issued with a formal warning, a fine of 100,000 rand to be ordered, and a public apology within a day that the order is made. Acting for Malema, senior advocate Voyani Ngolwana, said the Electoral Commission of South Africa found no evidence that the EFF or Malema were in breach of the electoral code. Ngolwana said there was no rational or reasonable link between Malema tweeting Brown's number and the threatening messages. It was conjecture, not evidence, he argued. But Budlender insisted that there was a connection between Brown's harassment and Malema's tweet. We are all the grown-ups here. You can see the connection in the reference to the tweet in the message, he said. Brown had approached the IEC, seeking intervention. The organization invited Malema and Brown to a voluntary conciliation process, which was woefully unsuccessful. The applicant is not happy with that decision, and then embarks on a collateral attack by coming to this court, said Ngolwana. Ngolwana described Brown's application as an abuse of the court, and said she should be subjected to a judicial sanction through a punitive cost order. She further argued that Brown did not conduct herself in a fair, objective or professional manner in her criticism of the EFF. The journalist we are dealing with is one who is intent on having a registered political party deregistered. That is the context. When one is confronted with these kinds of utterances by a journalist, is one to sit idly by and not express concern in a WhatsApp message the journalist has put out? Ngolwana submitted to the court. Ngolwana was referring to several examples of commentary in which Brown was critical of the EFF ahead of her court battle with the political party. He cited an opinion piece in The Citizen in which Brown asked if a political party that attacks a woman journalist should be allowed to contest elections. He also cited a message in an IEC media WhatsApp group in which she said she wants to end the EFF, and a program in which she allegedly accused the EFF of race baiting, to name a few. This crux of the case, however, began when Brown mistakenly sent an editorial brief to an EFF media WhatsApp group. She wrote, "Keep an eye out for this. Who are these elders? Are they all male, and how are they chosen? Keep watching brief." The message was quickly deleted, but not before EFF leader Julius Malema was able to take a screenshot, which was posted on his personal Twitter profile, followed by 2.3 million followers at the time, in which he alleged that Brown was attempting to send a mole to the EFF's breakfast for the elderly. The tweet exposed Brown's cell phone number without her consent and led to a period of harassment, intimidation, as well as death and rape threats. Brown received a barrage of insults. She was called, among other derogatory names, an Indian WHORE and BITCH, and she was insulted, threatened and accused of allegedly sending moles to spy on them, News 24 previously reported. Budlender submitted that Malema's conduct was in contravention of the Electoral Act, as it incited his Twitter followers to abuse and intimidate a journalist. Malema's conduct constitutes a contravention of the Electoral Code, as he took no reasonable steps to ensure compliance with the Electoral Act, to make sure that journalists are not facing any harassment, intimidation, and threats by political parties. We know for a fact that Brown is a journalist. He was asked to take steps to avoid this, and he said that "I won't do it," Budlender argued. While Budlender acknowledged that Malema apologized to Brown during a media briefing on April the 10th, he argued that this was not sufficient. The apology was far too little, far too late. Brown had already been harassed and intimidated for a month. It is only after the damage was done, and they were faced with litigation, that they sought to distance themselves from the conduct, he said. As a result, Brown wants the court to find that the EFF contravened parts of the Electoral Code, and are seeking an apology via Twitter, the imposition of a fine of 100,000 rand, as well as costs. Budlender asked the court to deal with the matter on an urgent basis, because it was before the elections. This is a case about the functioning of our constitutional democracy. By its nature, it is urgent. It is in the interest of justice that this matter is heard before the elections. Voters have a right to know about this before they vote, he submitted. Judgment was reserved. Please check in the description box below for the links to the sources of this report. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share and subscribe.